My name is Liz Bachman. I own Wildflower Social Media. Wildflower is a social media agency that focuses on helping small businesses grow online. If you're watching this, you've probably experienced a roller coaster of emotions around your social media. One second you're excited because there's so many different opportunities and possibilities of things that you can do. And the next, there's just a ton of uncompleted tasks that you have to now find the time to get done. I absolutely get it. But the thing is that it actually doesn't have to be that overwhelming. The thing that you're most likely missing is a content strategy that directs what you're going to do, so you're not just throwing stuff up at the wall and seeing what sticks and randomly trying to throw together a slew of tactics as soon as you see a new trending thing on Instagram. So today during this video, we're going to talk through how to create your own content strategy so that you stop spinning your wheels and start being able to make some actual progress. All right, so first things first, we're going to talk about the importance of planning. Planning really does come down to having a strategy. And I know strategy sounds really confusing and really complicated. And it can be, but getting started doesn't have to be. What a content strategy really should be is a roadmap of how to get from where you are to where you want to be. I mean, think of it this way. If you're trying to get somewhere, right? Like if you're in the car and you want to go on a trip, for the most part, you're not just gonna start driving. You need a GPS or a map or something to tell you how to get there, to give you a guide, to give you a plan. Because otherwise, you're probably gonna get lost if it's somewhere you've never been before. When you plan ahead and you use a content strategy, there's a lot of different benefits that can come from that. The first of it is going to be consistency. When you know what you need to do and you know how you need to do it, it's a lot easier to show up consistently, not just in the number of times you're posting or the number of places you're posting or the look, but also in your messaging. The next benefit is going to be clarity. When you're not just throwing things at the wall and seeing what fits, trying to come up with a variety of different ideas and not really knowing like where to start, it takes way longer. So clarity is going to make you a lot more efficient as well. Having a plan will make it easier for you to stay in alignment with your goals and alignment with your business, so you don't just end up on some weird detour that doesn't make any sense. I mean, a lot of the times with viral videos, businesses don't make any sales, and the reason for that is because that video doesn't have anything to do with their business goals. And so, yeah, it's cool to go viral. I'm not gonna lie, but it's cool. But if it doesn't help your business, it certainly shouldn't be a priority. And a lot of times what happens is we put together some like silly one-off thing and it does it, but if it's not in alignment with your brand, it really doesn't do you any good. And the last, and honestly for the busy business owner, the most important is something I touched on a little bit, but I'm bringing it back to efficiency. If you have a content plan, if you have a content strategy, a roadmap that tells you what you need to do and how you need to do it, you can create content so much more efficiently. You're able to create batch content, so you're able to do a bunch in a row, and this is going to be able to have you save time and energy. And as an aside, if you have a plan, you're also able to measure the results of that plan. If you don't have a plan, you can't measure your results. All right, so let's talk about creating your first month of planned content. So if you don't have a piece of paper, a spreadsheet, something right now, pause this, go get one, and come back because it's gonna make it a lot easier for you. Okay, step one, define your goals. What do you want to happen? I know that sounds very vague, but think about it. What are you wanting your social media to do for your business? Are you wanting to increase brand awareness? Are you wanting to drive traffic to your website? Are you wanting leads? The more specific you are with your content strategy, the more you're going to be able to measure and stay on track. Now, it's also important to be realistic. If I have a previous video that I've done that talks about setting SMART goals, but when you look at what you did last month, what do you want to achieve this month? If you only have, if you've only reached 100 people in the last 30 days, I don't really know if it's smart to focus specifically on lead gen through organic social media. Paid is a whole other thing, but through organic social media, you probably need to focus on brand awareness, on making sure that you are having enough eyes on your account to be able to convert those leads once you're ready to create that type of content. So make sure you're staying realistic, but set goals. And when you set your content goals, they can be, what you want to do in the next year, And then you can break that down into what you want to do for the next month. So generally speaking, when I'm talking to small business owners, the first thing that needs to happen is we need to increase the overall brand awareness. We need to increase the amount of people that are seeing their content. All right, step 2, you've got your goals. You know what you want to do. Step 2, who are you talking to? And I swear it better not be anybody who blank, because that's not going to be helpful. When you're talking, a lot of people say that you have to niche down with organic social media, and we believe that to a certain extent. But more significantly, we just really want you to understand the psychographics and the problem that you're solving for your customer. Like, a lot of the times I'll talk to real estate agents and they'll say, I'm looking for anybody who wants to buy or sell a home. And you know what? No, of course they do. That makes a lot of sense. But it's not helpful when it comes to their marketing, because that's way too broad. Think about who you want. If you could pick your ideal person, who would you want to work with? And how does your solution uniquely best solve their problem? That's your target audience. That's who you want to be thinking about creating an avatar of. Like, for example, okay, if you're a fitness studio that works primarily with busy moms, well, a lot of your content's probably going to be around quick and efficient ways to get there, because think about all the other crap the moms are dealing with. What is that pain point that's interrupting their ability to achieve the goal that you're going to help them with? That's what really matters about your target audience. All right, so it's worth sitting down and thinking about for a little bit. Step 3, now we're getting into themes. So I want to talk to you about content pillars. You may have seen online that content pillars are inspire, educate, and entertain. Throw that out the window. That ain't gonna help you. That's ridiculous. It's too vague, and it's just not even remotely instructive. Instead of thinking about it like that, we need to come up with topics that are relevant to your audience that help move them towards the goal that you want them to take. For instance, a construction company might focus on project spotlights, behind the scenes, and customer testimonials. Now, you might be like, well, what do I do with that? You've got themes. A content pillar, which is what we just said, is different than the content purpose. Your content purpose is going to be, awareness, consideration, promotion, like that sort of thing, where that has to do with where you are in your goals and like what you're trying to get your social media to achieve over that period of time. But when you're thinking about your content pillars, these are the areas that you're going to be creating content under, and all content should tie back to those ideas. Typically, we recommend 3 to 5 content pillars, and this is so that you stay consistent and aligned with your brand while speaking to the things that you know that your target audience cares about and that your target audience needs, so you're not just throwing random stuff up to see what works. Step 4, this is going to be putting this all into a content calendar, okay? So what you need to do is, and we have linked a template that you can make a copy of in Google Sheets if you want to use the basic one that we use for some of our clients. And it's going to have the important dates, the format, the content pillar, the content purpose, the content idea, and the call to action. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to fill in that content pillar and then the content purpose based on what you decided your goals were, and then start filling in ideas for those. Make sure that you pick a cadence that makes sense for you and what you're actually able to stay consistent with. It's really a lot better to post 3 times a week consistently than it is to post every single day for 3 weeks and then not again for another 2 months. Try to stagger out your stuff so that you're hitting a realistic content frequency, and as you start to practice this and do more of it, then I would amp that up. You don't want to be afraid to try new things out. So I'm talking about consistency, I'm talking about alignment, and your messaging, you want to stay consistent. You want to know your person and speak directly to them. But the way you get that messaging across, the tactics you use, the different types of content, you should try different things and see what resonates most with them. Pay attention to your analytics. This isn't really a content planning thing, but after you've done it for a month or 3 months, depending on where you are in your analytics and your frequency and all that, take a look at what people are actually responding to and then double down on that. So I've just given you a lot about how to come up with what types of content that you need to create. Let's talk quickly about creating it. So There's a couple of tools that we love. A few of them do have an affiliate link over to us if you use the link that's in the caption here, but we do actually use these tools. I'm not just telling you about them, but I do want you to know that there is an affiliate link involved. You've probably heard of Canva. Canva's worth investing in, especially if you're starting to regularly create social media content, graphics, and that sort of thing. Absolutely, we love Canva. We use Canva. Professional graphic designers may absolutely kick me for this, but to be honest, for social media, using InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator for everything is a bit overkill, and it's going to take a lot of your time that you probably don't have, especially for the amount of content that you're putting out. Like a lot of content that you create that's got that higher end design, you're making, you know, a handful of deliverables, right? Well, with social media, you're making 3 to 7 deliverables per platform every single week. So instead of focusing on doing the absolute perfect piece in Photoshop, create a good professional piece in Canva a lot more quickly. You can also set up brand templates and brand kits in Canva to make that more efficient as well. When it comes to video, all right, look, we shoot most of our videos on a cell phone. This is being shot on a cell phone, okay? When we use our cell phones to shoot videos, we always use InShot to edit it. InShot is fantastic. It's very user-friendly. It actually does auto-generated captions now, and it is cheap. Okay, it is not expensive, which is really important because a lot of video editing software is really expensive. Now, we use InShot to edit videos on our phones and on our iPad. I actually don't even know if they have a desktop option, but I've never used it because my videos go straight to my photos in my phone, and then I just pull it up and I use that to edit. So for me, that's just easier when it comes to creating social media video that is on my phone. We also use an app called Captions, so you can do closed captions in InShot, you absolutely can, but if you want something a little more pizzazz, I guess would be the word I would use. I don't know, that's silly, but it's fine. So if you want something a little bit more like, I like the brand colors and I like a lot of the options on Captions. It also gives you a transcript of the video when you put it in there, which can be really helpful. Personally, a lot of times we'll send the transcripts of the videos over to our copywriters for our clients. It just makes it so much easier for them to work. But if you're not using a copywriter, still having a transcript can make it easier. Instead of having to watch the video over and over and over again when you're writing a caption, you can just reference over to it. So in that way, we really like Captions because it has the transcript bit. And last but not least, we've been using Metricool to schedule our content across most of our platforms. It's been really affordable. For one brand, it's actually free. This is the one that we had the affiliate link for, but it is what we use for all of our clients. We've got like 15 different brands on Metricool. We very rarely have any problems. It is user-friendly, it is intuitive. It lets you look at your Instagram grid if you're worried about the aesthetics there, and it also has a link tree sort of thing that they call a smart link that you can adjust so that you can have like, for the business association that I manage, we have a lot of dates and stuff that have like things that need to be registered, and I can have everything color coded and I can toggle things on and off and keep the analytics for it, and it's really nice. And it does have reporting as well. You can also run ads through it. So today we talked a little bit about why you need to plan your content, and how you can do that using a content strategy. We walked through 4 steps to get you started for planning your next month's worth of content, and I talked to you about a couple of tools that really make it a lot easier for us to create content that are accessible for the small business owner. If you found this video helpful, I would love it if you would hit subscribe. We are going to be putting out more videos with tips and tricks for small business owners to learn how to use their social media effectively. And if you have any questions, please do leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget that creating a well-planned social media strategy for your business's social media is the key to success. Have a wonderful rest of your day.